The time has gone 6 minutes after the hour, 6 o'clock. Let me welcome you to this broadcast. It's brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS, together with the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. It's the second episode of the Let's Talk Justice, Live Your Rights show, Season 5. Back again with a bang. Very delighted to be holding your hand as we talk through the subjects that we have, or the subject rather that we have for this evening. I'll be with you for the next coming hour, and I'm not going to be by myself, by the way. I normally don't do this by myself. It'll never happen. There needs to be one or two people that are in the studio to help me talk about something that's very, very important. Just in case you're wondering what we're going to be talking about, well, we're talking about legal advice for women. Seeing that it's Women's Month, I thought that maybe it's a good idea to do something like that. And I've pulled together two absolutely amazing ladies in the studio. And the names are Belinda, a legal practitioner handling issues that's got to do with civil from the Legal Aid South Africa, as well as Matiadi Dankuru joining us in the studio. Very delighted to have you with us, ladies. It's a very good evening to you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for having us.
All right, 0800 142 446, 0800 142 446. That number is a toll-free number if you're going to be calling us from a landline. Otherwise, if you're calling us from a cell phone, call us in. We'll take your details down and call you back, saving you costs as well. We're going to be available as well later on Government ZA. That's Government ZA. That's on our Facebook page at a later stage. You can go and review this and maybe share it with your friends and family members that would like to also get to know what we're talking about this evening. Legal Advice for Women, episode number 2. My name is Karabolans Kistrolana Sabapidlimatebele, by the way, and I'm very delighted to have you with us. Ladies, let's kick off. And happy Women's Month, by the way.
Thank you so much.
For a change, I get to sit with gorgeous ladies in the studio, but not only that, but ladies who've got information that's really is going to help a lot of people in South Africa. This is information that's really going to point people in the right direction. Let's talk about the mandate. Maybe let's start there of the Legal Aid South Africa. Belinda, maybe let's start with you. Maybe people have heard about Legal Aid South Africa, but they don't know what they do, where they are, what are they all about?
I mean, I'm really hoping that people know about legal aid, If they don't, then it means we're not doing a very good job. But nonetheless, legal aid is a legal statutory body of attorneys, and we provide legal advice to vulnerable groups in South Africa. So women, children, people that can't afford legal representation, basically. Right. Yes.
Now, in terms of assistance, one may wonder who qualifies then to access services from Legal Aid South Africa?
When someone needs legal advice, they can always approach our offices. You need to earn as an individual below the amount of 5,500 Rand. Children can approach our offices for absolutely free. We assist children in any sort of legal matter. So yes, when you get to our office, we'll do what we call a means test to see whether or not you qualify for us to be able to assist you with any kind of legal matter that you need assistance with. We do criminal matters, civil matters, or issues, for example, that have anything to do with children, custody issues, access issues with regards to children, evictions we do, divorce matters we do, applications for variation, sequestration, those type of things, a lot of civil issues.
All right, when it comes to the legal issues, if perhaps you might be having a legal question, what I'm going to ask you to do is to call us in on 0800 142 446, 0800 142 446, and we're also available on Twitter at DOJCD_ZA, on Facebook, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. That's where we're going to be available, just in case you'd like to engage with us. So those are the platforms that we've made available. But somebody who's going to be taking your legal questions is our guest, Matiade as well, Dankuru. She'll be taking most of your legal questions that are coming our way. But uske ba wa choga ga ile gore mhlomo kwa nya gore butcha putcho o ka leletsa mogala mo nomorong eo ya mogala yona ke mpiwa fela 0800 142 446 bangwe ba re o ibolela ka pela man ke o itheosha ga nyane lela ka rona mola stimela 0800 142 446 nka ibolela ka sepedi mare e tla tsana kwa ke tla tsana kwa rena ka mka rena le nyona 0800 142 446 ana go na le mathata a leng gore o gatlhane le ona mathata a leng gore o ka nya gore wa shutiše mohlomong wa ga o tseba gore ka bolela mang ka botša mang mathata a leng gore na le ona bomme ba gona tšatšing la legono o ka bolaišana le bona wa botša gore na wena tšeo o di bonang di go swere jwang gomme o ka nya gore o di sekaseke jwang. Is there any problems that you're facing at the moment that you would like to have legal advice for? I would like to encourage you to call us in. Don't sit there and and despair and think perhaps things are just blue and gloomy. No, you can call us in and we'll definitely help you on that regard. Let's talk about the means test that you're talking about, because a lot of people, once they've heard that hey, there's Legal Aid SA where they can access assistance from your side, everybody might want to jump in. But you've mentioned that hey, when you come, there's a means test that we conduct.
Yes.
How does it go about? What is it that you look for? What is it that you scan before you could say, all right, person A, we're definitely going to assist you in this regard?
Yes. I mean, a lot of people that approach us are usually people that can't afford legal representation, right?
Right.
Because we provide free legal advice or assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we check with regards to your finances whether or not you fit within the criteria of the people that we're able to assist. So you can't earn, for example, above the threshold of 5,500 rand.
Mm-hmm.
If you have movable property or immovable property, it can't be above the amount of 100,000 rand, for example. If you have a person that you're living with, for example, if you're married, we're going to take that into consideration as well. So it can't be, beyond the amount of 500,000 in that event.
All
Yes.
right.
So you'd provide us, for example, if you're saying you're unemployed, you provide us with a 3 months bank statement.
All
If
right.
you're employed, we want pay slips.
So there's no exception for those who are saying, look, I might be earning more than 5,500 rand, but things are tough. And are you able to help me?
Yes, we do assist. That person will then draft for us, for example, an affidavit stating that, yes, they earn about 5,500 rand, but they're still not able to afford legal representation when we take into account their income and expenditure, for example. So they'll make a plea or an appeal to Legal Aid, the national office to be specific, that's our head office, to make a request, to say, look, I'm not able to afford my own legal representation, so I'm still requesting Legal Aid to represent me because, these are my expenses, so I'm not able to meet that, yes.
I've heard about people being called the state attorneys. Are they coming from your side?
No. We're from completely different ends.
Right.
Yes.
0800 142 446. I'm going to be opening up the telephone lines now pretty soon. And on Tlantlanda is on our telecommunications and just taking your calls. If you would like to ask a question or two, you're more than welcome to do that. We're available on YouTube as well, justice.gov.za. That's justice.gov.za rather on YouTube. So if you want to check us out, you're more than welcome to do that. So we've mentioned that you got to be earning 5,000 and less, or less than 5,500 rand,
Less,
right?
yes.
So now, and we've touched on the issue that you might be earning more, and there could still be assistance coming your way.
Yes.
Now, are the means tests? Obviously, they're not the same. But now, what's the difference when you're assisting somebody who's earning 5,000 or more than 5,500 rand? Are there specific things that then you would look from them? For instance, with the one that's earning 5,500 rand and less, maybe there's one or two things that you look for. Are they different to the one who came now and say, look, I'm earning more, but I still need assistance?
No. Our means test it's the same for everybody, whether or not you're earning above 5,500 rand or below that.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is though that for that person that's earning above the 5,500 rand, they'd need to make an appeal.
Okay.
Yes. So if you earn below that, you automatically qualify.
All right.
Yes.
0800 142 446. I would need those people to be put on air as soon as we can. I would like to give them more time for the listeners to ask questions instead of me asking questions. But I get biased, you know. But because you don't know, eh? You don't know how people it gets wild sometimes. 16 minutes after the hour, 6 o'clock. It's a very good evening to you. Welcome to it if you've just joined us. My name is Karabo Lances Tlogolana Sabapetil Matebele Tabala Robalo and Amo Khashonyarena Yabo Shegom Bialogono. Reltever Bleachana or Bleachana Mo Lebo Ma Babatlingamo the Papuchinja Nacha Khasho. As you know, we're celebrating Women's Month, and it's very, very appropriate to have ladies representing, especially on a subject matter such as this one. We're talking about legal advice for women. If you're a lady this evening and perhaps you are struggling with an issue or two and you would like some advice coming from the ladies, you're more than welcome to do that. It's got to be legal advice though. No, not that. No, we're not going to be entertaining that type of thing. It's going to be a legal question that you're asking us so that the ladies can entertain that and show you direction in terms of what you need or need not do. Have you got a caller on the line? Let me take that caller quickly. I'm going to take that caller cold if there is a caller. Is there one? Let me take a caller quickly. All right, we don't have a caller. 17 after 6, 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. And by the way, tomorrow we're going to be celebrating Women's Month. I'm pretty excited. Some of our producers are out and about in the field, and they're going to be covering that. And big ups to Mosotho Stone, who've paved the way today, going out in Northwest. And I believe they're going to be going to the Northern Cape as well, as we're celebrating women who've done absolutely amazing. Bomama Lillian Goy, as I can remember, Bomama Winnie Mandela, who've paved the way for us to be living the type of life that we're living today. I mean, we have freedom today. We're liberated today. We're able to do things, especially as women today. You know, the play field is open for all of us in order to live the life that we've been dreaming of all these lives. So we're going to be commemorating that today, tomorrow rather. So there's going to be a couple of activities that are going to be happening around the country. I'd like to encourage you to take part in those and see how you can turn South Africa around and make it better. Let's take a caller called quickly. A caller, you on the line. Who am I speaking to? Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Yes.
Hi, good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Speaking to Vus Mahamba.
Vus, where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Maroga, Northwest.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Vus. Have you got a question for us? Vus?
Yes, I'm
Bona Chief. Bon. Vus, because you're listening to yourself back again.
Okay, fine. So,
yeah, what is your question?
my question is, I'm calling on behalf of my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we had a negligence accident against Bara. Now we open up the case, so I need help. We are not working, both of us.
Okay, what is the problem? You've had an accident.
Yes, negligence for the child. So the child he died when he was 3 months.
Okay, so at the hospital at Bara, ne?
Yeah.
Okay, so ever since this has happened, you've never sought legal assistance. Is this going to be the first time that you're attempting to get legal?
No, I did launch a case against them. They come to my place, they interview me with so many phones and mics and everything. They never come back. They say they will investigate. They never come back. I launched it in the national office for what? National Office of Complainants. They email them. They say they will come to me. They never come. It's almost 3 years down the lane. I'm relaxed. So I don't know what I'm waiting for. So, yeah.
All right. Vos, we're definitely going to jump into that one and see how we can assist you in that regard. I think I've got the gist of that, and we'll go back to it. Okay. We've got Nobelungu on line 2 from Tinaham. Nobelungu? Kunjani sisi? Ndiyaphila man, xaba le vinegar man. Nanzo ke masive kuwe mama.
Sinengxaki endinayo apha.
Tata nam.
Single parent, ne?
Uh-huh.
Ndinomzukulwane wami ukhulele kum lo mzukulwane wami. Wabolekwa ngutata wakhe.
Yeah.
Ngoku umama lomntana usikolekile intombi yami. Ndiyowuthatha umntana phaa bafuna undinika umntana. Into enjalo ndingayithini.
Abafuni ubona umntwana.
Abafuna undinike bafuna makaze apha eholideyini. Kodwa ukhulele apha kum umntu ena-7 years apha.
Lo mntwana akho ne? Umzukulu wakho.
Umntanami.
Aha.
Umzukulwane wami.
Okay. Uhlala nobani ngoku?
Uhlala nomakhulu umama katata wotata wakhe.
Okay. All right. Okay, mama. We'll definitely answer your questions. Sizaphendula umbuzo wakho mama ne? Ndiyabulela. All right. Nobelungu from Tinaga. Nangu Njabulo from Matatiele. Njabulo?
Hello, yebo.
Yes, sir. What is your question or comment?
Okay, umbuzo wami ngicela ukubuza ngi-assista wonke umuntu odinga any legal advice any legal matter because ngifumene inqubo seyiphakathi.
Okay. All right. They will touch on it again. And they'll answer your question. All right?
Okay.
0800 142 446 0800 142 446. I think what we need to do there is we just need to drop slightly the guest level slightly a little bit so we get rid of that echo. There we go. That's more like it. Sounds more like radio now. Not some now it sounds like radio. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Here are the 3 questions from our listeners and thank you for those. Vusi says they've had a tragic incident happening to their family. They've lost a child, and it sounds like Vos is attributing that loss or that tragic event to, is it called malpractice? Negligence. There we
Yes.
go. On the hospital side.
Yeah.
What assistance can he get from you? And it sounds like it's the first time he's seeking legal assistance.
But did the child pass away as a result of the motor vehicle collision or the negligence of the hospital? Because the two are totally different. If the child died as a result of the motor vehicle collision, then he needs to make an application a claim at the RAF.
Okay.
Yes. But if it's with regards to medical negligence, then
Okay.
you need a private attorney for that because legal aid doesn't do medical negligence claims.
Oh, yeah, is it?
Yes, we don't do medical negligence claims.
Okay, maybe
Or
while we...
RAF claims.
Oh, okay. Maybe while we're there, before we go to Nobelungu and Jabula, and you're more than welcome to jump in there, Matiade. You're more than welcome to talk, by the way. It's a conversation, right? So now that you've said that, give us a structure of what you guys cover and what you don't cover.
Okay. We assist with labor issues, domestic violence issues, maintenance issues, any matter that has to do with children, divorce, evictions, any applications for variation. Yes, I think I've covered F.
Claim
Yes.
sounding in money.
Claim sounding in money. Yes.
Wills.
All right. But not medical claims.
Not
No.
medical
So
negligence claims.
that's with rough.
Yes.
Okay, the road accident fund will definitely. But you know what I would like us to do? Maybe we need to get Vosi back on the line. If we've got Vosi's number, we need to get him back on the line. Vosi, if you can call back as well, I'd really appreciate that, so we can get clarity from you. This accident, what happened? Is it on the hospital side, or is it an accident that happened as a result, or is it the death that occurred as a result of an accident that took place? We'd like to hear from you, Vosi. We'll try to give you a call, but if you can call in, we'd also appreciate that. 25 minutes after 6 o'clock. 0800 142 446. Nobelungu called in from Tinaga, battling with accessing her grandchild. Apparently, the child is staying with another grandparents from the father's side. She wants to have the same rights as well and spend some time with the child, but she's not granted that. In fact, blatantly, they're refusing for her to access the child. Is there any assistance?
Yes, she needs to approach the children's court where this child resides. So any local magistrate's court has a children's court within it that she can approach and make an application for contact of the child.
All right.
Yes.
At that level, she does not need legal representation.
At that level,
does
she literally doesn't need legal representation unless other disputes arise. But whenever a dispute arise with regards to a child, as legal aid, we always assist as the legal representation of the child.
If
not,
there's a child,
not of the parties. Like if there's a dispute,
Right.
yes.
so if there's a dispute regarding a child,
whether it's for the primary care and residence of the child
Right.
or access for the child, we always then intervene, but we'd be the legal representative for the child.
what informs that decision?
Usually when that dispute arises, it's always the court that will refer that matter to us so that we can be able to intervene. And then, for example, I as a legal practitioner will then sit down with the child and take instructions from the child.
Okay. If a child is
If
a
the
minor,
child-
still, obviously, as a child, there would be a minor
Yes.
below the ages of 18.
Yes.
Would you like to jump in on that regard?
We as legal aid,
Ke wonder go gore. Ke
Oh,
wonder
no,
go-
gore, ne?
ke wonder go gore, kare. Henga so go ka se bolele ni.
no, the issue is that she's a civil practitioner,
Right.
and I'm in the criminal department, so I
Okay.
have more experience when it comes to criminal law than civil. So hence, I'm just giving her the opportunity to address in terms of civil matters.
Ah, well,
But I will jump in with regards to the last question, because I believe we have missed an important element with regards to criminal law and how you can access legal aid through the criminal procedure.
Would you like to jump onto that one? Maybe let's clear it now.
Definitely. With regards to criminal matters, you automatically qualify for legal aid if you are in custody. So if you are arrested for any matter and you have to make a first appearance, automatically legal aid takes you, as whether you are employed, you're not employed, as long as you are in custody, legal aid will represent you. Later on,
Do
that's
you approach and seek it though, or it like you're saying automatically, right? Automatically, does it mean, when you say automatically, does it mean you don't have to go through the processes of means test and all of that, or is it automatic that once you're arrested, we come to you without even you asking?
Okay, this is how it works. On your first appearance at a criminal court, you are informed of your rights to legal representation. You've got three choices. You can either appoint your own attorney, which you pay with your own funds. You can appoint legal aid, which we come in place. Every single court, by the way, all countries, all regions have a legal aid practitioner
Right.
inside the court. Or you can either speak for yourself. So it's your choice. Whether you're employed or you're not employed, you can go in and say, listen here, I need legal assistance, but I cannot pay. I'm in custody. There's no one I can call to come pay for me. So can I get legal aid? So that's how you automatically qualify for legal aid. However, if you're on bail or you're on warning, what you do, we then have to conduct a means test, because you are in a position to appoint your own attorney at that point.
Or to
since you're-
seek funds or whatever.
or to seek funds. But if you still want legal aid, we do take you and we conduct the means test as she explained it. And just a point of correction, the means test has changed. It's no more 5,500
Is it?
rands. Yes, it's now 7,500 rands. I don't know if
Oh,
the
fantastic.
civil section has changed it, but with us, in terms of the criminal procedure, we have changed it to 7,500 rands. So if you're on bail, you're on warning, you are in a position to seek your own legal assistance. But if you do qualify and you are on bail, we do come on board to help you right through your matters finalized.
Right. And then you made a stupid comment. Trust me, I do that a lot. Yes, you understand. And then he said, do the village. Well, I said it. 6:30 it is. 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. I wonder if I've got those WhatsApp messages coming in. Victor, I think Victor was frustrated, didn't he? Because I told him that I might be available on WhatsApp if there's any messages from him. I don't see any, Vic, so I'll take it. We don't have any WhatsApp messages for now. We do have a caller though, Basimani from Rusty Dusty. Basimani from Rustenburg.
Hey, Kara, how's it?
Shapurim bro.
Hey, Kara.
Moja.
Look, I just have one question.
Hey.
There's this perception, for the attorneys or the representatives from legal aid boards, but ineffective. They are amateur, they don't know their job, and a lot of people have this perception that once you appoint one of those, you are definitely going to lose your matter. So I just want to hear their response to that perception.
question.
I would like to hear it as well. Trust me, I wanted to ask that question, but I thought it's not in my place to do that. Thank you so much. Nina mapele Nina. Bo Nina monna kana kana kwa dijo ba udisana. All right, thank you so much, Basimani from Rustenburg. Let's chat to Carl. Carl is calling from North Coast Community Radio Station, Richards Bay. That's where he is. Good evening to you, Carl. Switch off the channel there. There we go. Good evening to you, Carl.
Good evening, Karaba. How are you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good evening to guests from the legal aid. I've got two questions, and I'll try and be as short as possible.
Go for it.
All right. The first one is how far, what are the limitations in regard to the kind of court that the legal aid covers? For argument's sake, if I started off at a magistrate court and it goes to a regional court, then it has to further go to a high court and right until the constitutional court. What are the limitations around how far the legal aid goes?
Right.
And then the second one is that I wanted clarity on in relation to the rights of an accused. For argument's sake, if person X is an accused for rape, I think why does the state fund their legal why would legal aid come to somebody's rescue who at the end of the day is convicted for murder but has had legal representation? I wanted to get an understanding as to why the legal aid would support somebody like that who ends up getting convicted anyway, not because the legal aid is weak, but because the reality of the matter is evidence is there that that person is actually the perpetrator of the crime.
All right.
And then the last one is with the illegal aid team members that they bring in. You're finding they're giving them 2-year contracts, and in 2 years they end up not. They don't renew the contract, or there's no continuity. In other words, if I've had a legal aid representative for the past 8 months, and within that 8 months the contract gets finished, the continuity is not there, and it always puts the case in jeopardy. But so I'll listen on the radio.
All right, Carl, before you go on the previous question, on your second question, I got a bit confused there because you spoke about an accused and somebody who's been convicted. Those are two different things, really.
Can I give clarity again? I said somebody is an accused, right?
Yeah.
Legal aid is engaged. You understand? And then that person, as the legal process unfolds,
Right.
found that this person is actually guilty.
All right.
You understand? To a point of admission, but all this time, the state's resources have been used to I don't know, to do what, but it's because there's this assumption of innocence before guilty. I'm trying to say, I feel it's not sustainable and it's not fair for genuine cases,
Right.
Where the resources could be put.
All right. Okay, cool stuff. Thank you so much, Carl, for your call. Appreciate it. Let's go to Road Report, and we're chatting to Kenny. Is it Kenny?
Yes, it's Kenny.
Kenny, good evening to you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. A wonderful show. Thank you so much. It's going to help a lot of people.
We hope so. Yeah.
Yes, my question is, my grandfather passed away and he left a will for us. So
Okay.
for the grandchildren, I'm the eldest. Obviously, I am working and I'm earning above 5,000. My brother and my sister are not working. My sister is a minor. So for the house to be registered on our names, we need to follow the legal process, which the two siblings cannot afford. And it's only going to be me that must be able to pay for the attorney fees and all that. So my question is, if there's 3 of us, how can legal aid assist us in this matter?
Three of you obviously. Okay, all right. All right, I'll see how I can put it, but I think I've understood it.
Yes, so the 3 of us, the house must be on our name. So for the deed office and the, what do they call it? But when they transfer the house from my grandfather's name to our name. So my siblings are not working. I'm the only one that's working. So obviously, I won't be able to afford the transfer fees alone.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Kenny from Road Report. I really appreciate it. 25 minutes before 7. It's amazing how time flies when we're talking about issues of utmost importance. I think we've touched on Jabulo, Nobelungu as well as Vosi. Let's touch on Basima and his question, which is a very important one. A lot of people, it's a perception that's out there that if entertain is on legal aid, the praga we to vela, janja segion, or when I be the pila when I go we don't I'm hearing those stories, and I try to say it the way they say it. When we don't meaning those people are incompetent. Forget your case, you're going to lose it. Is that perception? Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Unfortunately, we're not private attorneys, meaning we don't have the choice of picking and choosing the type of clients we have or the type of matters we want to do. Unfortunately, all the matters, if they want legal aid, it's up to us. We have to take it on. So we end up with a situation where we have more than 200 files.
Okay.
The clients come here and they want special attention. And when we're not saying we're not giving them special attention.
I was going to ask you. I was going to say, okay.
We work with a diary format, meaning if it's not your turn, then we cannot attend you then.
Okay.
But it does not mean that we don't get to you, and it does not mean that when we are at your date, for example, your court appearance or your consultation day, we don't go full on. We go full on, but you find clients that want updates every single day. They want telephone calls every single day. For example, for divorce, you'll find they come to our offices and they want to be divorced like now. And they also forget that there's procedures and dates that we also have to follow, court dates. You have to give the defendant 10 days to respond, such as that. So they do not really understand the procedures that go on, the legal procedures that we have to follow. Hence, maybe they feel that, no, you know what, legal aid, it's bad.
Right.
Let me just add on something to that. I think the main thing, or where I think that perception comes from, is that because people are under the impression that they're getting free legal advice and they're not paying for it, that we take it as though we don't need to give our all when it comes to giving legal assistance.
Right.
So, that perception is completely incorrect, because as legal practitioners, we're professionals, number one. We take our matters very seriously. In as much as a private attorney has the ability or capability to assist you in a certain matter, we have that capability too, because the degrees are the same. The period of articleship is the same.
Yeah.
The practicality of it is exactly the same,
Yeah.
So
It's
it
just where
doesn't
you're
mean
based,
because,
really.
yes,
That's
the only
what's
difference
different,
is that I'm able to give you free legal
Right.
advice. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And in other cases, you're going to pay for it. But the capability is exactly the same. We have the same abilities as practitioners. So I don't know where people get that perception from. But I really think it's simply because they think, no, because we're getting legal advice for free, they don't give their all when it comes to matters. And we have many success stories at Legal Aid. We have many
I'd like to
success
believe
stories.
that, yeah.
Yes.
All right, and of course, I would like to think that seeing that, taking into consideration the fact that, you guys, are assisted by taxpayers' money as well to a certain degree. There's a level of respect when it comes to that. You respect the fact that it's taxpayers' money that you guys
And
are
our
dealing
profession, ethically, we respect our profession.
Absolutely. Yeah, that perception is wrong, man.
It's very wrong.
I sharp. I sharp. 20 minutes before 7. We'll go to you, Carl. We'll go to your question right now. Kenny will go to your question. But I believe that I've got Patco on the line from Eliwal North, Takalani Community Radio Station. They're on board this evening. Good evening to you, Patco.
Ndate molweni.
Molo tata, molo.
Ndiyabulisa pha kumama uBelinda nomama uDankuru, ndiyabulisa kakhulu.
Patco, before you go on, I could hear a flicker in the background. Please tell me that you've got your hands-free set on if you're driving. What driver?
I just drive.
Okay. Good luck at indicate no, okay. All right. Okay, go for it.
All right. Umbuzo wami wokuqala ngifuna uqonda ukuba ingaba umama uBelinda nomama uDankura ukuba njengoba besuka kwindonde kwa legal aid. Umbuzo wami uthi umqondo uba ingaba bayazisa iiprogram zabo kubantu basekuhlaleni ukwenzela ukuthi bazazi ukuba i-legal aid isebenza ngolu hlobo lo ingakumbi kwicala lezomama siyazi uba bakhona abantu abangomama bayahlukunyezwa and then abidli ngaphambilini ufumane bayathathwa baswa kwithusano center apho bazagcina seyithi khona bayakwazi ukuthi baye kubo babanike these advices abanazo bona kwicala labo bafuneke ulandele oku noku.
All right.
Umbuzo wami oqala. Umbuzo wami osibini ufuna ulandela phaa kumbuzo kanohlungu nowapani umkhozi wami phaa eBhayi eTinarha. Ngifuna uqonda ukuba uba ngaba ngoku utata womntana masithi umama womntana uswelekile and then njengoba umama womntana eswelekile behlala nawe apha endlini and then ngoku apha bakulotata bayeza bazodimanda umntana xa umxelela ukuba wena umntana ngidibene ne-social workers kwathiwa umntana uzawuba phantsi kweliso lami into nento kufuneke nidibane nee-social workers bona baza nento esuka from the court bakuchazele ukuba thina sithethe ne-court engumntana wethu lona ingaba leyo into isemthethweni okanye ayikho mthethweni na. Umbuzo wami wokugqibela ingaba illegal aid iyasebenzisana ne-paralegal. Umzekelo i-paralegal I'm talking about the advice office if kunomuntu ogxothwe emsebenzini and then uza apha kwi-paralegal ilezizo ezincedisayo ukuba okanye zim-advice ukuba yenza 1 2 3 and then bayasebenzisana nazo na. Imibuzo yami emibini leyo ngiyabulela kakhulu zamela Takalani Community.
It's actually emithathu, but as far as I'm concerned, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patco, calling from Takalani Community Radio. Let's go to Tuli from Soweto. Tuli.
Hello, hi. Thank you, Karabo. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for calling in. I was going to ask you to depart on Ikago Soweto, but we'll save that for the end of the show.
Okay, no problem.
Go for it.
I'm not sure if my question is relevant to the services that legal aid provides, though I have been listening.
Right.
My sister is, she and a couple of other ladies had an NPO that they registered, but that NPO did not function. Let me say it just lay dormant. So now my sister's received a letter saying that she needs to appear because and provide some information in terms of the finances that she has received from this NPO.
She's getting this letter from where? She's
unemployed at the moment, right?
Okay, but she's getting this letter from where? Tuli?
From her service providers like the bank, the phones that she owns. So because they say no, when they check, they can see that she's a director in one of the NPOs, which yes, it is true, but it is inactive. So she approached the ladies in the NPO, and they said no, they have deregistered her name. But upon checking, no, it's not true. They have not deregistered her name. So is there any legal recourse in this case?
Okay. All right, we'll handle it, Tuli. We'll see what we can do with that one. Thank you so much for calling in. Let's go to Stivovo from Emalahleni. Stephen? Okay.
Yeah, so lapha UIF mang-apply UIF bangitshela ukuthi then kusenye ufuna umsebenzi for ukuthi ngizokhona uqualify for ukuthi ngizokhona ukuthola imali yami yeku-UIF ne.
Okay.
So mangizama ngithi ngifuna umsebenzi after 3 months ngibuyele lapho because I didn't find a job.
Okay.
Then mangiba explainela ngithi mina kibo I didn't find a job, so can I apply for that money that I must get from my UIF, you see?
Right.
So I don't know if maybe there's a legal action that I can take from umama lapho ukuthi angizame ukuthi maybe I can find that UIF I'm seeking for.
Thank you so much, Brasiv. You from Emalahleni, Go with Bank. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
15 before 7, 0800 142 446. Let's start with Carl. He's been waiting for quite a bit. He wants to find out, are there limitations with regards to kinds of courts, in terms of levels of courts, as we go higher the hierarchy, going towards constitutional court, in terms of seeking representation or seeking legal assistance from the legal aid?
No limitations at all. We're in magistrate courts, regional courts, high courts. We do Supreme Court of Appeals up to constitutional court matters.
Right.
Yes.
This one I want to park it, Carl. I wouldn't want to jump into this one because it can stir quite a bit of a debate. But I will ask it anyway. But,
Okay.
he wants to find out, rights of an accused, he started by saying. And he says, why does the state, fund somebody at the end or during the process when they're guilty of having committed the crime? That's how I could understand it. But, I mean, then it's going to boil down to issues of rights of access to justice and all. You guys would like to jump into that and elaborate?
Well, he's mentioned in his question that every accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So you have a constitutional right to legal representative because firstly, we are not sure at that stage whether you are indeed guilty. So we are not wasting any state resources because your element of guilty has to be proven by the prosecution, by the state. So it is not our duty as the defense attorneys to prove whether you're innocent or guilty. So every single person has the right or the benefit of we have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
All right. Let me put a bit of a twist to it. When I was listening to him, I almost wanted to further ask a question that says, so once these people, or once the accused is now found guilty, do they have to pay back the money that was spent to them?
Not at all. And we are still going to represent them again should they come back again.
For an appeal?
For a different matter even.
Okay, let's talk about an appeal. Say, for instance, they're guilty. They've been found guilty, right? And they want to appeal now this time around. Are you able to help them still?
Of course, we are able to help them. What we do file the appeal on their behalf if they are still wishing to proceed with legal aid, and then we run with it.
All right, there you have it, Carl. Last one, legal aid team member. Okay, he was talking about team members from the legal aid side, right? He says 2 years contract. I don't know how accurate is he in terms of contracts that are given to your members. But the problem that he's picking up, and it's quite a serious one, he says, say for instance your matter goes on longer than 2 years, and somebody has been appointed to take care of that matter. But now their contract is 2 years only, and now we're lapsing over the 2 years. They gotta go. There's no continuity there. Are you aware of that type of thing happening?
Our contracts, yes, are of articleship are only for a period of 2 years. And then if you want to be retained by legal aid, if a position arises, then you have to reapply from scratch, basically. But when there's a practitioner that is handling your file during that period, during the 2 years, and then that person's contract, for example, is not renewed and then they get employment elsewhere, it doesn't mean that your file will just remain dormant, that no one will be dealing with that file. It will be transferred to another practitioner who will be able to continue with it.
Right, but they'll be briefed properly.
They'll be briefed properly on that file,
so there is
that
continuation.
Yes, and obviously, as a client or as a practitioner, I need to call you in. When I have your file, I'll call you and say, come in for a consultation so that we can talk about your file, and also introduce myself as your new practitioner.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm looking at the time, and I know when it gets to 10:02, and we take a lot of callers at the end, we're unable to answer those. So let's do this. Let me take these ones that are now here, and then that's it. And then we'll just answer the questions. Is that all right? I've been given a thumbs up by our producers on the other side. Okay, let's go to Mpho from Vereniging. Mpho?
Hello, Lete.
Vertel
Greeting.
Sweet and short.
Ke batla ke kopa ho botsa hore e ka nna ka ile tlhokafala. And ka leka ho etsa ntho go administrator estate, but because ne hona le company ka mo hare, and dintho di a latela go ya ka will ya move. But now I cannot tšhelete ya go tsweletsa everything.
Osimpo, your line is breaking terribly. Wangudwa? All right. She's gone, ne? Okay, that's fine, but I think I've got it. Let's move on. Let's go to Pilani from Mpumalanga. Pilani from Mpumalanga.
Hello.
Hi, Pilani.
Hello, Njani.
Ngiyaphila unjani?
Yeah, ngiyaphila. My question is simple. I want to ask that there is a regular and free services for consultation when women can come into legal advisor officers to receive or get free legal advisor.
I don't know, hey? I don't know if I've heard them correctly. You want to find out if women are able to approach the Legal Aid SA for whatever matters they have. Do you want to know if women are allowed to do that, and can they get free assistance? Is that what you want to know?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I would have answered it, but it's not in my place. All right, let's go. Let's go to Brian. Brian from PE. Brian.
Hello, sir. How are you today?
No, the right. What is your question?
Yes, man. I'm phoning on behalf of my mom, man.
Okay.
My mom has filed a case with the legal aid, you understand?
Okay.
I think that was in 2018. And
Okay.
the thing is now like dragging on for some time until it's not finalized. My question now is, the husband that she's married is now like, what happened for all the time he has not been working, you understand? And then she was the sole breadwinner because she was working. Then she got pension. And then after getting pension, she spent all her money to buy a house, which they staying together with. After that, what happened is the guy got involved in a car accident. Then he had some sum of money from the road accident fund. Then after getting his money, this guy bought a house in his daughter's name. And then he decided, listen, he's moving now out. But now after moving out, he wants to sell my mother's house because, but he's now staying with the house that he bought, and my mother can't make any claim from the money that he got from the road accident fund. So I just want to find out how can we deal with this issue.
All right. How are they married? Are they married in community of property?
They're married in community of property, sir.
Okay. Did you guys get it?
Got
all
it.
right. Well, all right. Thank you so much there, Brian. We'll definitely answer your question. All right. We're coming to it. 7 minutes before 7 o'clock. 0800, well, not 0800 142. But you said you're closing the telephone lines. Now you're opening them again. Decide what you want to do. All right. We've answered Carl. Let's go to Kenny. Kenny's question still stands. Grandfather passed on, left a will. All right. Now she's living with her siblings who are unemployed and they are underage. She needs to register the house that the grandfather has left for them into their name, but she does not have funds to approach any legal assistance, if you can put it that way. Can she come to you? And if she comes to you, what is it exactly that you're going to ask from her to produce?
Okay.
Because I think she can.
No, unfortunately. No. Legal aid doesn't, again, this is another issue that we don't deal with. We don't deal with the registration of immovable property. You need a conveyancer for that. But what I would advise, what did you say her name was again?
It's Kenny.
Kenny. I would advise Kenny to maybe approach pro bono. I think they'll be able to assist with something like that, the registration of the property.
All right.
Yes.
There you have it, Kenny. I think that's where you need to go. All right. Unfortunately, they don't handle issues that's got to do with the registration of immovable properties, you say, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Pantco. Pantco calling all the way from Eliwell North, and he wants to find out. And I saw you guys were like almost not getting it, were you? When Pantco spoke in
I didn't
Xhosa.
hear a word of that Xhosa. It was so deep.
Siyathetha sis. Duqalele kaloku kuba siyathetha apha, riyabulela, riyakhuluma, rihamba.
Sure.
Yeah, so we do them all. No, fortunately I did get what Patko said. Patko wants to find out, these are nice, or this is a nice interaction that we're having here, but he feels that, there's a lot of women who are living in rural areas that are missing out on this information.
Yeah.
Are there programs that you guys have put in place that you can reach them and give this information to?
What we usually do is we try to have what do you call those?
Outreach programs.
Yes, outreach programs.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for my daddy being here, because sometimes I forget things. But anyway, yes, they're called outreach programs, where we try to go out to our local communities so that we can be able to speak to people around. So we'll set up a gazebo with our pamphlets there, so that people can know what legal aid does, what legal aid is about, where they can reach us, our local offices and where they're located and everything. Yes.
Okay, great stuff. Now, he says, living in a household with perhaps a spouse, right, and you've got a child. It happens that your spouse passes on,
yes,
and then the other family from the other side, they come and they want to take the child to go and live with them, but the child has been staying with you. And social worker. Now, this is what he says. He says social workers have granted you the permission to stay with the child, but the other family comes and the courts have told them that they can get the child. You see, I was listening very carefully to what he's saying. He's talking about social workers. He's talking about the courts.
Yes.
So, what's happening there?
Okay, so there's no one, I think, that can come to you without some sort of an order.
From the court
that specifically says that they can have the right to have that child reside with them.
Okay.
First things first, if you're the person or as a biological parent, you're the primary guardian of that child. If anybody wants to have contact with that child, that's an application that they have to make to the children's court.
All right.
Yes. So you don't have an obligation to just hand over your child, especially without a court order.
They got to produce some form of
Yes, they have to produce some sort of documentation to that effect.
All right. He spoke about paralegals, and that's what I wrote here. But my goodness me, I'm looking at it, and I don't know what came after that or before that.
Whether we have paralegals at our offices. Yes.
All right, go for it.
We do have paralegals at every legal aid office. So that's our first point of reference, basically. So when you come into our legal aid offices, that's the first person you'll see, the paralegal. So basically what they do is they're screening for us. They compile the application, and then when the file comes to me, I decide whether or not that application or that matter has merits for me to go with it.
All right. And then Tuli wants to know, sister and other ladies, they've registered in NPO. It lied dormant. It wasn't bringing in any money. It's not meant to bring in money for that matter. But I mean, activities in terms of bank accounts and so forth, there was none. All right. But then the sister received letters or letter of appearance from service providers who are claiming that there's been activity financially in their bank accounts. What can the sister do in this regard?
I think there's more to that question. It's sort of incomplete for me, because I think the first person I probably would have asked Tuli is, there's no credit provider, for example, that can just approach you and say, you owe us money.
When you don't.
Yeah. Whether or not I have different transactions going through my bank accounts or whatever, but whenever a credit provider approaches you and say, look, we owe you money, firstly, I have to have a credit agreement with that credit provider, In the event that I default, yes, then that credit provider can come to me and say, look, you owe us money.
Where can she go, firstly? Tuli, where can she start going to?
It really depends on the matter, but we as legal aid can be able to assist with something.
So you can
like
advise
that.
In terms of how to approach this matter.
Yes.
All right, Tuli, there you have it. Get in touch with the Legal Aid SA, and they can definitely help you on that one. In fact, point you in the right direction if need be. Let's go to Stephen. Stephen says he's been applying for UIF. He was told to go and seek employment, which he did. 3 months he was unsuccessful. He went back and says, look, I got a span a chance, Zamanyana. But he says he's not happy. Yeah, he's not happy.
I understand why.
Why?
Because you can't go to UIF and say, I'm here to claim for UIF, and then the criteria number one is go and seek employment. It doesn't work like that. From what I understand, the UIF is specifically for people that are unemployed.
All right, but he was unemployed. When he approached
that's when you're supposed to apply for UIF.
When you're
the
unemployed.
Criteria shouldn't be go and seek for employment.
So they've done him wrong.
I definitely think so.
So
if I knew Steve, I would accompany him to
so
department.
No, I'm just joking. So what can he do? He must go back.
You know what? I think he should go back to the Labour Department or wherever he was trying to claim for the UIF, and speak to someone in charge.
Okay, great. Mpo, husband passed on. There's an estate. Did you that Kayla you would say? Did you get that? Because you're a little confused there a bit. Do you still remember that one?
Not really.
Aye. Hwartso, come on studio. Hwartso. Mpoko then husband passed on. Oh, she is battling with an estate. Yeah, the husband.
Yes, I remember she said something
there's
about
a company
involved.
that was there.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yes.
she got cut off. I was really interested in hearing that question because
Because I said I understand. I should have asked them to call him back. Yeah, I got pop. But I can tell you what I was getting from that question, Gohore, she is battling to sort out issues to the estate simply because there was a company that was involved there somewhere. So the estate is not complete as it is now.
Yes.
So I say,
was there a will? I don't remember whether she said
she did not mention anything.
I think she did mention that there was a
Yeah.
will, but
Is it?
it didn't go
Oh,
according
she mentioned,
to,
yes, that
according
it didn't
to what
go
the
to the
will
intention of the
stipulates.
testator. I
Yes.
remember something like that, yes.
La Mofonel. You know my producers.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, let me tell you something.
fantastic.
And Kikodi Arabella, when I come out of here, they're gonna ask me so many questions. Why were teachers so? Why was I so? No, when I was bored, you know, I mean, competent, well, nonetheless, here's Mpo back on the line. Mpo?
Hello.
Let me apologize, Ausaka. We've got our lines twisted. And get Poso Yaga. Rokopela question ela happen too.
Okay. Kere na monna ka ile a tlhokofala. A ya will. And then ka ne re na le company. Ra apply la ntho ka nominate as an executive. And then from there dintho ha di a itwa the way tshwanetse dintho di ka teng go latella will. Ha nna mo ferefere o mong gona no ha ke gono kore ha ke ya koko legal aid ke lo kopa thuso for attorney intuition because ha ke na tšhelete ba re estate value ya estate e worth more than the requirements tsa bone.
Okay.
So ha gona motho a nthusang and then gona le di matters tse di hangileng tse leng gore di batla gore ke ye court a ke na tšhelete ya attorney a ke na tšhelete ya advocate.
Wa ba tlhalosetsa though gore even though the value ya and my sisters you can jump in on this one really ne wa ba tlhalosetsa though gore even if the value ya ntona ya estate ya monna hao ele above what they require from you, it's still not settled. It's still, in fact, you're approaching them because you want to sort that out.
The worst part is say more than 7 years now.
It's more than
that value is unusual or young. So I will not close.
All right.
Because I cannot attain a corner high court.
Let me take a couple of steps back. You mentioned you don't have to say why necessarily if it's too personal, but I want to find out settle the estate about and those people.
The dispute the stepsons and daughters.
Right. Oh. Now we get it. Wa hopola o simpono na le sai jeno mo story sa ba pedi khale ka bo 1989 ba re ke Sergeant Mama Bolo wa mo hopola ya ke na le di skills tsa high ya ke kono butsa di question ke kre taba go tlase kwa. Thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it. Let's take up that question right now before we move on to the next one. You see where the problem is now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What do you guys say?
Okay. So it technically depends on the dispute when it comes to this estate. So, for example, I also needed to have found out whether or not this matters in the High Court. Is it already been dealt with? Is it already in its...
It's not actually. It's
not.
The way it sounds, it's not. Look, you know... Okay, go for it. I'll tell you when once you're done. Yeah.
Okay. Usually when there's a dispute when it comes to an estate matter, we are able to assist. It depends on what the dispute exactly is and whether or not there are enough merits for us to be able to assist you. But it's usually a matter that we handle at the High Court.
All right.
Yes.
Madam, here's the problem, ne? Problem she gets told estate how the value is too high for us to help you. And mind you, it's not like the estate is settled already. It's not.
Yes.
It's born. It's not even touched. It's still there. So how do we move around that issue? No, estate, we can't help you. Is the means test again.
It's
when it was
probably
done,
that,
but
yes.
find out the estate's value is a bit higher than what
we need to assist with. I think the other option that she really has is just to approach pro bono.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we able to get in touch with you guys directly?
No, unfortunately not.
All right. We will pursue other means because the biggest problem lies with her being unable to move because of this estate. It's still lingering there.
Yeah, I suspect the problem is that probably the other people involved probably don't or want to have this will declared invalid.
Right.
I suspect that's the issue.
Okay. All right. Our simple. What we're going to do, we've got your numbers. We'll speak to, again, other people and see which direction this takes. But we've got your numbers and we'll call you back. Pilani called in. He wants to find out, can women able to get legal assistance? Yes, they can. All right, Brian. Okay, get out. Okay, go for it. All right. It's Women's Month. Women are dealing with issues, very heavy issues. We've just heard Mpo here. Advice that you can give women in terms of approaching you guys? Is there any?
Women are the vulnerable groups that we're talking about, that we're able to assist at legal aid. And, it would be really, really nice if women that have legal issues can come to our offices so that we can be able to assist them.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, it was quite complicated. What a way what a way to wrap up the show, hey? But let's try to deal with it. All right, Brian has got a mum. Mum pensioned. Mum got money invested in buying a property. Good thing. And big ups to that. All right. And then there was an accident.
Husband got
the husband
RAF money.
Yeah, the husband got the money from RAF. Husband buys a house. Husband wants to move out, but movie out of fail. Yeah, from you. So and they're married in community of property. Go for it.
That's where the issue is.
Yeah.
The marriage in community of property. I know a lot of people, think when they're married in community of property, no, you can't get this, it's mine. No, the point of reference is that you guys are married in community of property, and whatever share you have, the other one also has a share in, technically. So, but if the father bought property
in the daughter's name,
yes, in the daughter's name, oh, that's bad then. Yeah, untouchable.
Ne? Are you referring?
Yeah, the mother's stuck in a rock and a hard place.
It
but
looks like it.
Yeah, the property chances are it's going to be sold, and he's still going to get that money. Because unfortunately, when you're married in community property, she's not entitled to the RAF money simply because it's a patrimonial damage. Yes.
Right. But Arare now the dad sells the house. Why Rikis? Though it's registered in the daughter's name.
Yes.
Is the mom able to claim from that sale?
Unless the amount of money goes directly into his bank account, that's how I will get it. If I know that he sold property and that money was transferred straight into his bank account, yes, I'd go after that money.
Yes, like I'm telling you, what a way to end the show. It's complicated than this because I'm asking myself to start with why I registered Lika, the daughter.
Because he clearly doesn't want or have an intention to give her 50% share.
Let me give you your time as a listener. Let me wrap this up. Thank you so much, ladies. That's how we come to the end of our show this evening. And it was brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS, together with the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. We were talking about legal advice for women. Joining me in the studio, was Brenda Mkajwa, coming from the Legal Aid SA, as well as
Matiadi
Dankuru. There we go. Yeah, that's like a brand. Thank you so much, ladies, for your
Thank
time.
you so much for
Really
having
appreciate
us.
it.
It was
And
so
for
much
tomorrow,
fun.
may you please enjoy your Women's Month. The people in your lives, whether it be husbands, boyfriends, kids, uncles, whatever, let them know that you're special tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you so
Indeed,
much.
thank
We
you.
will enjoy
All right,
it.
thank you so much to the team that's made this possible. I'm talking about none other than Ace. We call him Ace because he's an ace, by the way. Mfano tau mixela sound like you don't understand. and he can't, well, he can hear me, but I can't tell him pila like on air, kotla this, kotla that. You know, all I do kira the signal, and he knows where to touch. When no do what he mix. You know, he's doing an amazing job. Ace, thank you so much for the wonderful job that you've done. Really appreciate it. As well as as well as the queen, the queen of the radio unit, and her name is Nontantla Lemako. Nontantla doing an amazing job as well. We really appreciate it. Victor as well, Victor Pala. Victor can pay we could even take over things that people don't know. Yeah? Thank you so much, Vic, for the wonderful job done as well. As well as Nobu Bele coming from our video department. Nobu Bele is going to make this video available on YouTube as well as Facebook for you to go and watch at a later stage. From myself, Karabalans, I think I'm going to get arrested because I got my daughter here still in school uniform and it's 12 minutes after 7. My wife called now, ring, I got drop. Yeah, I get drop it. Ciao for now. Let's meet again next week. Same team, same place, same time.